Hello everyone, welcome back to Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Today we discover the real person who killed Bonnie and clear Monty's name once and for all. Get ready because we're jumping right into it. Something about this case just doesn't sit right with me. All the other detectives assigned to this case all seem to unanimously agree that this case is pretty open and shut. But I feel like we missed something crucial. When Bonnie went missing, the company quickly replaced him in order to keep making money. With a new face replacing Bonnie so quickly, many began pointing the finger at Monty. The most damning evidence that people look to when saying that Monty was the killer is the claws. Before discovering the body, we believed that he had stolen them in order to replace Bonnie. Bonnie was equipped with claws to help him pluck the strings of the bass while in the band. When discovering that this upgrade made Bonnie and later Monty uniquely capable of playing the bass, it's easy to see how it looks like Monty did it. Adding in the sudden change from Bonnie to Monty, and even some veteran detectives could be fooled. It wasn't looking good for Monty with no sign of Bonnie anywhere, but now we found the body and the evidence no longer leans against him. Let's take a look at photos of the crime scene so I can show you what I found. First things first, we have all the damage on Bonnie's body. He has a massive gash in his chest with some green discoloration around the wound. We also have a broken bowling ball used to smash Bonnie's head. It seems someone had a lot of rage behind this attack. There was obviously a struggle here with this mark on the wall. Lastly, what I believe to be a calling card of our murderer, the wet floorboards surrounding his body. He left these taunting us across the entire Pizzaplex. We also have some notes from management about Bonnie, including his last whereabouts before he died. One note speaks of Bonnie being out of commission, saying this could be good for the company and Monty may even become more popular. Another note mentions that the company is replacing all the art of Bonnie around the Pizzaplex, and kids are asking where Bonnie went. What intrigues me is how he asks if there is an official approved response. These messages make me think that it was someone in the company who did it, and they are trying their best to cover it up. The last note is what made people point the finger at Monty. The note is simply just a security report of where Bonnie was going one night. With this being the only security report we found, we thought this may have been the last known sighting, but that simply can't be the case. Bonnie is found in Bonnie Bowl, which is on the 3rd floor on the west side of the building. This note says that his last whereabouts were in Monty Golf, which is on the 1st floor on the east side of the building. There's no way to sneak from Monty Golf to Bonnie Bowl without being noticed, and it's obvious the attack took place in Bonnie Bowl with all the damage, meaning the company is hiding evidence from us. Not to mention that unless Bonnie was lugging around an entire charging station that night, it shouldn't have taken 4 hours to get from the green room to Monty Golf. If we go back to the note about Monty being better, it also says Parts and Service has already done the proper adjustments. So Monty didn't have the upgrade until after Bonnie was killed, but Parts and Service moved quickly to get him that upgrade. Again, sounds like the company was ready for this. With Bonnie receiving this kind of damage, it would have been hard for Monty to be the one to cause it without the claw upgrade, and the Pizzaplex only gave Monty the claws after Bonnie went missing so he could replace him. Someone else had to have taken out Bonnie before Monty received the claws. Then, after Bonnie was taken care of, Monty could have easily taken his place, Bonnie would have become a distant memory, and Monty would have taken the blame for it all. I think poor Monty here just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Monty looked up to all the band members and wanted nothing more than to be a part of the band. Now that you see how this new evidence changes everything, let's reopen this case and go through our lead suspects and knock them out one by one. Alright, come on everyone, squeeze in, I know there's a lot of you. So let's start with our least likely suspect and work our way to the killer. First to go is Gregory. While this kid does have a track record for attacking animatronics, This attack was played out by somebody in the company, so he's out. Next suspect is Freddy. This guy loves Bonnie way too much to commit the crime. Not to mention that Freddy doesn't possess any of the characteristics needed to take out Bonnie. No green paint, no claws, and no motive. Next up, Chica. Again, no real motive can be found for her doing the crime, and while witnessing her being violent does make her a higher possibility than the other two, it's not enough to convict her. Plus, the only green she has is on her leg and her palms. Our next candidate begins making this investigation more interesting. Springtrap has some of the necessary qualities. He has the sharp claws in order to do the damage to Bonnie's chest, and his casing contains the color green. But after further investigation, this is where the dots stop lining up. First off, it's not exactly the right green. I don't even think it's paint, so it can't be scratched off. He also doesn't have the strength to take down Bonnie on his own. While he could implement the staff bots to help, what would be the point? Springtrap has been slowly taking control of the Pizzaplex from the shadows. The only animatronic seemingly not under his control is Freddy, and this is because he's been put into safe mode the night Gregory showed up. There should be no reason Bonnie wouldn't also be under Springtrap's control. Plus, Springtrap is on constant life support in an area that can't access the rest of the Pizzaplex easily and wouldn't be able to go after Bonnie in the first place. The up-and-coming child murderer has more potential, however. Vanny has the power to use the staff bots to disassemble Bonnie and is intelligent enough to frame Monty, the one known for being a hothead. But again, the motive doesn't make any sense. She's helping to take over the entire Pizzaplex with Springtrap. Why would she need to destroy one of the enslaved robots? You might think she'll use Bonnie's parts to improve the deteriorating remains of Springtrap, but we clearly see that Bonnie isn't missing any significant parts. Now for a surprise suspect I didn't expect to be this high, Roxy. Well, first, it doesn't make too much sense. When you look deeper into the evidence, too many things begin lining up. I suggest after this video checking out Rexter's video on a more in-depth view of why it could be Roxy. I'll have the video in the description below. I'll do a quick summary here, but definitely go check out their video. Afterwards, come back here and leave a comment on whose theory holds more weight. Firstly, she has sharp green claws that could have been used to attack Bonnie. She also could have easily lured him into a false sense of security since they were presumably friends. She's also the only one who's shown helping Monty get ready to take Bonnie's place in the band. But why would she do it? Simple. Jealousy. Cassie says her dad's favorite was Bonnie, meaning Bonnie could have had the love of the older demographic, the people who grew up with the older animatronics before the Mega Pizzaplex. Roxy is all about being number one, being the best, being the most popular, and knowing that Bonnie was taking up some of her potential fans drove her crazy. So she saw the sad lizard in the swamp and thought of a plan. She painted her nails green, similar to his green scales. She found Bonnie in the back room and when his guard was down, struck him down. She then got Monty the new role as the bassist, and anyone who was a fan of Bonnie for nostalgia would then love her. But it's still not adding up. If she got rid of Bonnie due to jealousy of getting nostalgic fans, she would also have to get rid of Freddy and Chica. Those two also have been around since the beginning. Freddy's name is literally on the building, making him the most popular character. Our last suspect is the Mimic, who fits the bill almost perfectly. Not only can he climb into any costume or animatronic casing in order to frame whoever he wants, it would make sense if the theory that the Mimic learned from the previous games is true. In FNAF 3, we play a minigame where we control the animatronics and lead them to the back rooms where William Afton disassembles the animatronics. Bonnie is discovered in a hard-to-reach back room, disassembled and violently broken. The Mimic learned from the old games to lure the animatronics in and disassemble them. But the only thing that doesn't seem to line up with this theory is that the Mimic seems to have an alibi. Gregory tells Cassie that it's been trapped in the basement for a really long time. While we don't know how long really long is, the fact that Cassie uses the elevator that Freddy said is a one-way trip, crawls through a mysterious mushroom cave, and breaks down a cement wall just to get to it makes me think that it's been down here too long to have done the crime. Well, I probably shouldn't do this since half of you are dangerous to society, but since I can't pin any of you on this crime, you're free to go. It doesn't make sense. There has to be something I'm missing. Hey, who let you in there? Oh, it's just Mopbot. Wait a minute. These guys are always getting mad at you for getting in the way of their cleaning. In Security Breach, you find Monty's mystery mix in Bonnie Bull's kitchen. We've also seen that the staff bots can do similar damage to Freddy. And finally, the calling card, the one thing I couldn't pin on anyone else. The mop bots would have the easiest access to the wet floor signs since they are the ones to put them out. I think what happened is Bonnie left a mess for Mopbot one too many times. This time, it was the Monty mystery mix, which Bonnie also got on himself. Bonnie goes to the back to clean off since he has to look nice for the guests, and is followed by Mopbot. Mopbot, who's tired of cleaning up the messes, attacks Bonnie. Bonnie, being bigger and stronger, easily fights back and hits Staffbot into the wall, causing a few of the Staffbot's parts to break and the wall to be marked with white paint. Staffbot, not finished but not wanting to lose the battle, leaves for the door until Bonnie lowers his guard. At that point, Staffbot grabs a bowling ball and smashes it over Bonnie's head, breaking some sort of circuitry and causing Bonnie to fall to the ground. Not yet shut down, but also paralyzed from the bowling ball breaking his circuitry, Bonnie lays there as he can only watch as the singular Staffbot rips him apart. As a final punishment for making him clean all those messes, the Staffbot links Bonnie's circuitry to the wet floor sign bots and scatters them across the Pizzaplex to make it nearly impossible to find and save Bonnie from his suffering. Unable to cry or signal for help, he sits and suffers until we find him in the ruined DLC. Officers, we have our killer. Arrest that robot.
Well, what do you think? It's a bit of a silly theory, but I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more of my content. Let me know if you want more theory videos in the future. Also, consider supporting me through my Patreon or buy me a coffee links in the description. Don't forget to check out Rexter's video on who they think Bonnie's killer is in the description too. If you want more of my content, here's 2 more videos from me you might enjoy. Thanks for watching till the end. I'll see you next time. Goodbye!